It is my Boyz finalized Demons list versus everybody's brother from another mother, Big Whit, and his Necrons. Necrons, I hear you say, yes. Just to do something a bit different, he's considering going into an 1850 Rogue Trader, and he needed a fully painted army. It's one of the fully painted armies he has. He wanted to test it out, drag it out from the box. It's fully painted. Did I mention that? And just for kicks and giggles, we are going to eliminate phase out. There will not be phase out. That's the rule that screws Necrons the most, and this is a test game. So it was Dawn of War. I won the roll, determined I was going to be going second. So okay, that was the bottom of one. My preferred drop came in. Over here is the Changeling with his pink horror hounds today. I do have the models, I just haven't painted them yet, and we both wanted to use fully painted armies for this battle report. Anyway, as opposed to running, I chose to take all the shots over here at this destroyer unit, and 30 strength 4 hits, I downed 1. Well. These fiends could not have rolled worse. I mean, just right up there, bypassing their Plague Bearer cover saves. They're gonna take a bunch of shit in the top of 2, I imagine. This unit of fiends over here landed properly. We got 2 Demon Princes, and they lit into the one unit of destroyers over there with gaze and bolts. And I'm known as a lucky player, and there are certain things that happen that are just freaking awesome for being so lucky. For example, Big Whit, everybody's brother from another mother, is shooting me with a gun line of Necrons, and you know, I'm demons, and I'm pretty stout, and I've got Eternal Warrior and an invulnerable save, and so I just start taking hits over here on this Pink Horrors unit, and it's going one after the other, and it gets down to the final unit of destroyers. It's going to start chewing up into the fiends over here, and the Changeling, for the first time since I've ever used him, steals those shots, turns around and destroys 3 flayed ones. In the process of doing that, I survived just barely. That one lone little puppy icon demon thingy in there is the icon. So it's just, I couldn't have asked for a better result. 2 heralds there dropped using that one lone icon that survived at the top of 2 that was in combat with the flayed ones and the Lord. So I dropped with precision accuracy and then dropped templates and such over there on those destroyers. Ultimately destroyed that unit. He kept them on the board, so with the Res Orb he could join that other unit of destroyers. So it became crucial to kill that unit off. Naturally the fiends charged, and we did so. So the Lord over there is still up, but ultimately those destroyers are all going to get picked up. Over here, fiends ran in, and Lord had, I believe, Gaze of Flame, and then with the Flayed One's ability I lost 1 dice, and then I ended up needing 6s to hit. So I ended up losing combat. That doesn't happen to the fiends too often, but okay, sometimes the obvious moves aren't the best moves. He pulled the Flayed Ones and the Lord out of combat and was lining up for the charge again, of course. That was the obvious move, and I think we both expected he was going to end up charging the fiends, but there was a better play. Using the Necrons in the building, he shot at the first herald, lightened him up some, did a double charge, managed to kill off 1 herald and put a significant number of wounds on the other. Breath was what he was worried about. He was worried that my heralds would zoom over to the packed very tightly warriors and do some hurting. So I think he correctly identified the threat and came very close to taking care of it just completely in 1 round. That was a nifty maneuver. Speaking of, you know, he pulled the Necron Lord on Destroyer out of the combat with the Fiends. Both of those units of warriors came on with reserve rolls, and it only took 1 of them to destroy the Fiends. Okay, we're about to go in the top of 4. Let's discuss what happened at the bottom of 3. So all of my models are now in. We dropped using the icon on the right flank over there. Our left flank rapidly seems to be failing because, you know, we can't hit flayed ones. Using their terrifying visage, they again just smack the fiends around. The Herald's dead. I lost 2 fiends. He's going to be backing up his monolith and bailing out of combat again. Yeah, teach me to be dismissive. That was fun. Over here on the right flank, I had 1 Demon Prince who shot into the monolith. Breath managed to get a glance. I managed to take 1. I got a weapon destroyed result, so it's going to be -1 to his Gauss Flux arc, or whatever it's called. The other Demon Prince used the opportunity to try to snipe down the Lord. Didn't kill him, but did manage to put 2 wounds on him. We're going into the top of 4. I mean, what can you say? My left flank has completely been abdicated. I am going to take this unit of horrors and cry and crawl and hope and, you know, I don't know what else to do. This monster unit here, yeah, they just killed everything. I don't even know what to say. I could not seem to roll against them. I did pass my leadership -1 save for the terrifying visage, and it didn't help. I didn't get enough attacks. I mean, fiends are great on the charge because the massive number of dice helps even out the odds. You throw 10 dice, and even if you need half of them, it's just not going to produce that many wounds. So personally, I like throwing a lot more than that. All right. Anyway, bottom line, left flank is gone. Over here on the right flank, we're doing a little bit better. His monolith just keeps kind of holding down the center. We're going in the bottom of 4, and I should have a fairly successful turn over here. I've got some stuff that should come into play. But yeah, it's turned into a game. What can you say? Like I said, this is kismet, isn't it, Bruce? For me being, oh, it's Necrons. Well, let's just make sure they don't phase out so we can have a game. Man, the universe hates me. All right, here we go. Okay, the bottom of 4, the Demon Princes came along and littered dead Necron bodies all over the place. Story at 11. Obviously, we'll see if they get back up and join this unit that is around the corner. Actually, ironically, I don't know what happens. Do you happen to know the rule of what happens since your res orb is now technically down?
I know he can get back up. I don't know if the other guys can.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll also be hard to tell, but we'll figure something out. It's not that huge a deal. My fiends were lining up to get a charge off on that unit. It's just 10 to 1, half dozen to another. If I would have tried to run through the terrain, I might have gotten unlucky on the difficult terrain rolls. So I tried to go around, play the conga line, and had I rolled 1 inch higher on my run move, I would have gotten there. So still, these monsters of rock over on the left-hand flank are just owning the world, and we're going into top of 5. Okay, top of 5 is come and gone, and the game just gets more and more funny from my perspective. So these plague bearers spend a bunch of time getting over there, and they climb up, and they're going after, and the unit of Necrons just goes right through the portal. That may have been completely, as a matter of fact, it was completely obvious. I don't know why I missed it, but it's a really good example of what they can do. Obviously, they need a better codex, but I really thought that this thing was going to move up and discharge its unit of flayed ones again, but this is a much better move. He's going after the lone objective that's here in the ruins, and I have a grand total of 4 pink horrors blocking it. So that makes me very out of position. He's managed to split my army and turn this into a 2-flank game. And while I'm winning on the right flank, which has both of the other objectives, I really have no answer for the monolith, and the monolith will contest both of those. As it is, I'm hoping to pull out a draw at this point. Anyway, we're going into the top of 6, and again, it's down to a fight on the flanks. My Demon Prince charged in there, knocked out the Lord, knocked out the unit, Plague Bearers mopped up, and the last lone Necron on the way down punches the Demon Prince in the face, takes him out. What can you say? Anyway, the Necron Lord just got up for the 2nd time, and not much you can do about that. All right, moving on over here. We're going into the top of 6. Okay, in the top of 6, he did what he needed to do, destroyed the pink horse, claiming the objective. That pink horse is actually not there. Anyway, he moves on to the objective, and he's got 2 inches to move. So basically, he's contested with his monolith. Notice he contested both of those with the corners of his monolith, which is one of the reasons that people with monoliths and land raiders always want to put their objectives within 12 inches. Still kind of aghast. I mean, ultimately it was a draw. My fiends got there, but they needed to roll a 6 in order to get through. I mean, they were 12 inches away. On 2d6, I needed to roll a 6, double it, get there. I did. We didn't even roll the combat. There's no point. At best, I contest. I can't get any troops there. I don't know what to say about this game. I have enjoyed this game more than I probably enjoyed many in a long set of years. I'll talk about it more in the battle report. Right now it's load up and